Let's understand what is Azure Integration Runtime. Integration Runtime is nothing but it's like infrastructure in Azure Data Factory that performs data movement, data transformation, and activity execution. For example, you want to reach from point A to B. The medium of reaching point A to B is nothing but integration runtime. So it's like a infrastructure in the systems. So there are three types of integration runtime in Azure. One is Azure Integration Runtime. Uh, it's completely managed by Microsoft, and the use case is it's when we want to move data from cloud to cloud, then we use Azure integration. It's a default setting in Azure. Later we'll see on the portal how it looks. Example, Azure SQL database, you wanna move data to Azure Blob Storage using copy activity. And the second integration runtime is self-hosted integration runtime. So this means if you want to access data from an on-premises or a private network, we'll be using self-hosted integration runtime option. Example, you'll be connecting MySQL server, and then we'll be using self-hosted integration runtime, the bridge which connects MySQL server to Azure Data Factory and then to Azure SQL database. And the third one is Azure Sys integration runtime. This is basically to lift and shift the data. For example, you have automated settings in MySQL in on-premises. Rather than setting it up again in Azure, we'll be copying everything and pasting it in Azure so that we need not create everything again. So helpful when migrating from SQL Server integration services. Quick summary like comparing between Azure Integration Runtime and self-hosted and Azure Sys Runtime. The first one, if you have data in cloud that's in Azure, no need of installing any external extension. So if your data is on premises or a private data access, require installation, and then Azure Sys, it runs this package in Azure. So today we'll be doing self-hosted integration runtime. For a copy activity example, first we need to install integration runtime that's self-hosted in this case because we are doing copy activity from MySQL in my PC to Azure. So step one, we have to install. Step two, create MySQL linked service in the copy activity. I'll be showing in the portal how we'll do it, and then create the Azure SQL link service and then source query, create a copy activity. So this is the data flow: MySQL, self-hosted integrated runtime, Azure Data Factory, Azure SQL database. So I'll show on the portal how does it work. So this is Azure portal. We'll be doing copy activity using self-hosted integration runtime. So we'll search ADF. Go launch studio. So here, how to install integration runtime on your portal. In manage, you can see here integration runtime. So I've already installed. It says self-hosted, that's running in my PC. So auto resolve is Azure integration runtime. Self-hosted is for transferring data from private source to Azure. So to create new one, you have to simply create new, and then you'll be choosing Azure self-hosted and continue, and then self-host and continue. So here we'll be entering the name of the runtime. I've already done self-hosted runtime. Then if we create, then successfully saved integration runtime here. So this is the key. So when you do first time, you have to click here, launch express. It will automatically download. It's like an extension in the PC. If it's not downloading, you can use download. So let's close this because I've not done it successfully. It's here, so I'll be deleting this since I already have self-hosted. I can use the same one. So let's create a pipeline for the copy activity. New pipeline. MySQL as name. MySQL PC to Azure Excel window. So let's do a copy activity. So the name will be giving MySQL to Excel Azure. So the source here, my data type is MySQL. We'll be creating a new. We'll search for MySQL. This is on my PC. Continue. So here link service I've already created yesterday, so we can use the same link service. I'll show you how to create the new one. So here we'll be using self-hosted runtime because it's on my PC. The data is on my PC, so I'll be using self-hosted runtime. The server name, port, database name, username, this will be on MySQL on the home page. I'll quickly show you. MySQL, open. So here, this is the screen where we can use the host name, username, and the password. When you create your SQL server, you'll be having this. So the server name is the host name and the port. Database name is the in SQL. Where did you save the table? That name. If you don't know your databases, you have to just simply run what database you have here on the screen. Let's see, select database. If you run it, so I can see Pizza Hut I have in this, so we'll be using the same one. So since I've already created the link service, I'll be using the same one. So self-hosted, and here the tables will take some time to load. Since the data is on my PC, it takes some time, so we'll be using, these are the tables I have in my database, so I'll be using pizzas. Okay, so we can preview the data here whether uh, the connection is completed or not. To verify, you can see this is my SQL data here. So the source is done. Now sync, we'll be setting up way to transfer this data. I'll be creating a new location. So we'll be doing it to Azure Zen 2. And I want to convert MySQL to CSV. MySQL to CSV 1. So I can use the same connection which I created yesterday, but I'll show you how to do the new one. So we'll be using self-hosted runtime. Azure storage name the existed one. Storage 2. Let's test connection. It's successful. So let's create the link service. It's done. Okay. We can validate all. Is there any? There is no error in the pipeline. So we can debug to check it's queued or not. Okay. It's queued. Copy data activity runtime less than 1 second. Okay, sync. Let's double check. We'll give the pathway here where to send the data. I'll be doing it in output. Okay, there's already order details. So here I want to move the data. I missed. Okay, let's validate again. Then let's publish this. Close. Publish successfully. Let's verify whether we have it in here in the storage. ADLS storage account. Sorry, I'll see in the dashboard I have here. Storage account. The containers, the output container should contain my CSV pizza types. Earlier, we couldn't see it in the storage account, but self-hosted MySQL, everything is so perfect. So let's check. It took some time to pop up. It's here, the pizza, the copy activity is done. So the source is MySQL and the sink we have deposited in the Azure database. So this is how we do copy activity from